Hi, friends. Host Eric here. Host Talking with Spanish People. Are you there? Yeah, we're going. That's good. I'm here. I'm feeling Myah. I'm feeling Myah. I'm feeling Myah. Feeling good, but I'm also feeling disconnected from Rachel because I've been thwacking out on music all day. I did get something done in the process, which is good. And I'll play it for you there pretty soon. Anyhow, life's a funny thing. And everywhere you go, people always say, "Hey, you stupido." Well, that doesn't say to me. Of course. Hi, yeah, right? What a day, what a day. Spent all day working on this track. All day. Non-stop. Just plowed ahead straight through. Rachel, been answering the live stream. Which makes me happy. You know, it's live streaming is fun. And I find it addictive, in fact. I'm glad she does too. That's not a good spot, Eric. Be smart. I'm trying to get it out of the view of the camera. There. That's pretty good. Let me turn these up. There. How's that? Better than a sweater? How am I tonight? Discombobulated from a full day of intense focus on one thing. It leaves me always kind of discombobulated. But Rachel is really cool about it and doesn't fuss at me during the day or just gets that, like, okay, I'm rocking out on something right now, you know. Friday the 19th at 11. Okay. Howdy, lawnmower. Are you mowing some lawns? What's going on? Yeah, what's going on?
I'm switching out your charger for a moment.
Okay. So, Friday the 19th at 11, huh? That's me. I'm bouncing my knee, and this is on top of it. It's making that clicking sound. How are you tonight, Zaylen Black? The ENTJ at work is trying to take credit for stuff, even though he did not do shit. I handle the sales, the INTP does the project, and the ENTJ is trying to take credit for it.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, busted. You're tired and frustrated, April? Why? What has tired you and what has frustrated you?
Oh, shit.
Well, there's a herd of cattle and a flock of birds. School of fishes, it's a spew of words. Campaign of battles, a collection of churns. Cause farmers milk chattel for cups for the birds. And a little flap of paddlers telling on burn for disrupting the arrangement of a blossom of ferns confers a shameful. Here, I have a link to this. Okay, so let's see. Fucking Machiavellian ENTJ, dog sitting. You're dog sitting. Your dog is insane and wants to eat her. Constant noise and drama.
Oh, no. It doesn't sound comfortable.
No, it doesn't. Let's go over to the corner and you can sit next to me. And you'll both be in the frame. Yeah, check it out. I linked everybody the mastered wave of it. So, it's not been published until it's posted on YouTube. So if people have concrete, specific feedback, like mix stuff or whatever, I could, in theory, do a little bit more mixing. Would you like some coffee?
Yes, I would. Mm-hmm.
INFJ and ENFP, potential relationship struggles. Well, I mean,
Oh no.
FI and FE are always going to be troublesome pairing. I think the INFJ is going to find the inconstancy of the ENFP a troublesome matter, because ENTP is at least constant in their language, and I think ENFP is less so.
They're contrarian relations and socionics. They're extinguisher types, actually. INFJ and ENFP. So it could be, it feels sort of like a brother, sister, brother. As in, like, the INFJ can get, like, really excited about something, and the ENFP will be, like, totally unimpressed, and vice versa. So you just gotta watch out for that. But there's, like, there's a lot of stuff in common. So I find that they have, like, music in common. They can talk about movies and, like, keep it surface level.
Keep it surface, friends. Keep it surface. Hi, James. Be back soon. Going to get to the subway. Going to get Subway. Oh, a sandwich.
Oh, cool.
Your phone says, sorry, cannot open that link, huh? Okay. Well, I don't know what to tell you. If you can't open that link, you can't open that link. I'm also happy that my ex-daughter-in-law came over when I wasn't home. The employee at Speedway bought me a frozen Coke and wrote a note on it for me.
That's nice.
That is nice. You know, Speedway is where somebody tried to charge $500 on my card. Speedway in Ohio.
Yeah, it's true. How funny.
I'm getting a replacement card for my account right now because there's been a couple of attempts to buy gas with it at various places, both which have been declined, but I'm just going to replace the card now at this point.
I'll be right back. Oh, I have, like, stuff and things all over the place. I'm going to try and get myself together. I'll be right back.
Okay, cool. While Rachel is away for a moment, I'm going to play this song that I just finished. Well, there's a herd of cattle and a flock of birds. School of fishes, it's a spew of words. Campaign of battles, a collection of churns. Cause farmers milk chattel for cups worth of birds. And a lip flap of tattlers telling on burn. For disrupting the arrangement of a blossom of ferns. Confers a shameful burden that burn deserves. Or so say the tattlers telling on burn. Bats are colonial, bees are swarmy. A quiver's worth of cobras is making me horny. Got a cat named Capillo and a dog named Bird. Cassiopeia is the name of my bird. There's no powder for my cat. Bird has no pack. Got no grip of badgers, cause badgers attack. And the same goes for weasels, which come in a sack. But my Cassie's in a murder and they're all in black. Nobody's coming alone today. Nobody's alone. All of the creatures gather up their crews. Gather their crews. You lions, your pride, a rotation of doves, a downfall of slides, and one pair of gloves. There's a pot of whales, Bristol Grace, Sparkle Nails, Swaffle Lace, Sniff the Juice, Frown of Fails, Catamace, Time of Jails. Nobody's coming alone today. Nobody's alone. All of the creatures gather up their crews. Gather their crews. I'm going want to hear this clearly, there's a link. You don't have to listen to it through the mics, you know. Today, nobody's alone. All of the creatures gather up their crews. Gather their crews. Full crash of rhinos and a knot of toads. Porcupines form a prickle crowd in the roads. Drive a drove of pigs and Yucatan. See the smack a jellyfish cock on the clock. Owls hold parliament, just like the Brits. But no labor's worth of moles votes labor on this. And lemurs and conspiracies with monkeys and troops can't turn a family of otters into a group. Nobody's coming alone today. Nobody's alone. All of the creatures gather up their crews. Gather their crews. Everybody's gonna have a friend. Nobody's coming alone today. Nobody's alone. All of the creatures gather up their crews. Gather their crews. Nobody's coming alone today. Nobody's alone. All of the creatures gather up their crews. Gather their crews. Is boundary pushing an ENFP quality, or maybe more explained by a Negro? I do think it's an ENFP quality. It's probably an action type quality in general. So, I mean, I think ENTPs as well can be very boundary pushing. But we are FE, and so we'd like to try to learn to not do that, I think. ENFPs are likely to push boundaries when they have their own strong feelings about things, and they just sort of apply it to you, whether you like it or not. The thing is, the one area you never want to push on somebody is their 8th slot. That means don't push on an INFJ's SI. Don't ask them to endure discomfort, and don't tell them when it's time to meow, meow, meow. What is that? Where's that coming from? Neighbors? All right, that wasn't my house. That was the neighbor's house. Yeah, that was the neighbor's house. Like, one of the reasons that Kimberly and I were doomed to fail is because I didn't realize it till later on. I kept pushing on her 8th slot. You know, I kept saying, well, here's the truth, and you need to pay attention to the truth, you know. SI doms don't mean that. Oh, well, that's the thing. For INFJs, simply revealing that they're uncomfortable about something or don't like something is in and of itself a revelation. It's like, I'm revealing something. But most people, you know that expression, don't take no for an answer. INFJs find that appalling because they only expect to have to say no one time because they don't like to say no in general. Sean, now listen, I want you to put on this banana costume, like I say, okay? And then you say, you're not a ripe pineapple to me. And I'll say, yes, I am. And you say, no, you're not. And you hit me with your banana costume. Was it like that, Sean Ryan Baron? I mean, look, here's the thing about compatibility between people. Type has a lot to do with it, but not everything to do with it. The most important thing is attachment style. So whenever we're talking about types being compatible or not, I'm assuming that we're talking about healthy attachment style people. If you don't have a healthy attachment style, then that's going to be very difficult to get into a healthy relationship, or it's a different matter. It's not something I'm really commenting on, put it that way. And what words do I have now? What was I talking about? Attachment styles. Yeah, the attachment styles, and assuming you got somebody who doesn't have an unhealthy attachment style, okay, two people have healthy attachment styles, and then you're talking about the next thing I think that's really important is instinctual variant of a Negro. I do believe that people broadly fall into three categories: self-preserving, sexual, or social, which is to say they want the core engine of their life to either be by themselves with a one person on a two-person team or in a group. So you can see that everybody has all three. Hi, Rachel.
Hi.
Everybody has all three, but Rachel and I are basically SX types. In other words, although today we were doing our own thing completely all day, each of us, that's not natural and comfortable for me exactly. And ultimately, most of the time, we like to do things together.
Yes, we do. I love doing things with you. I think I did a little too much SE stuff today. Feeling the burn out.
Well, the thing is, I don't like to call non-optimal expressions of self immature. It's like there's lots of ways in which people are on varying growth arcs. For anybody who's not completed a growth arc, you can say that they're immature in that area. Immature in an area is not necessarily a bad thing. What's bad is like non-optimality. I've been called immature by lots of people lots of times, and I don't find it to be a meaningful expression of like deficit. So, assuming you're SX, both people are SX, then you're gonna have the best kind of relationship probably. But if you're both SP or SO, that might work too. But you should probably be the same instinctual variance. That's what I'm thinking. And if you get two SP people, they're gonna expect to connect periodically for a date and maybe sexual intercourse, and then basically attend to their own shit most of the time. If you're in an SX type, you're going to expect to spend most of your time with your partner. And if you're an SO type, you're going to expect you and your partner to go out a lot. I go to weddings and stuff. Attend weddings.
Yeah, it's SO.
So the thing is, a child is immature, but it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with them. A immaturity can express in healthy fashions or unhealthy fashions. Well, I don't know how much weight's put in the Enneagram, but I will say that from what I see about people, and it makes perfectly good sense that all people need to spend a certain period of time alone, a certain period in a group, and certain periods of time one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
And which of those you prioritize as the main kind of thing you like to be spending your time doing, that's that determines your instinctual variant.
Yes. Well, what happened?
You're 24 now. This lady wanted to sleep with him. He said no, and then she started telling lies about it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This is James's story.
I'm sorry that happened.
You respond very much like Sean, Ryan, Barron, Rachel.
Really?
Yes, which is not unexpected given that you're both INFJs. What am I looking for? The bong. That's what I'm looking for. It's over there, hiding from me. Here we go. Here's the bong.
Use.
Oh, my PNP.
Oh, isn't she the best?
She is the best.
She's a very important kitty friend.
Your SPSO. I think my husband was SXXP, caused some friction, but not too much because of where each of us were in stages of life. Yeah, I suspect you're SP as well as Alan Black. Although you could be SO. You spend a lot of time hanging out with the groups here. Oh, big yawns for little Eric.
Yes.
Wow, there's some big yawns. Someone's a big sleepyhead. How old are you, Jinx?
Hi, Jinx.
85. The thing to remember about quote unquote new developments is if it's something you're enabled to do now that you weren't enabled to do before for whatever reason, then it's likely that this new development just represents you found something you needed but weren't getting before.
Mm-hmm.
It's like before YouTube, you might say I wasn't getting a lot of socialization, or I wasn't socializing a lot with intuitives. If you were to evaluate my behavior, you might have said, "Oh, he's an introvert." If you were just evaluate the amount of time I spent at home, I guess. Like I never really did anything other than work and stay home when before I quit drinking. All I did was just work and go home. That was it. But then when I quit drinking and started YouTube, well, you might say, well, that's a new development. It's not really representative of your personality. No, it's totally representative of my personality. It was something I needed for years and years and years and just didn't have.
Yeah. And it's created such a community now. You're able to get, like, your stuff out there.
I'm able to talk shit out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, theories, stuff that you've had, or if you notice something. Hey, Zaylan Black. So, is your computer back? I know you said you didn't want to. You didn't want to type on your phone. God, for Christ's sake.
What you looking for?
At the bottom to this. Like, how do I'm losing it.
You put it in your shirt pocket?
Yes. Thank you. That's why. No wonder. Oh, we'll connect? I'm sorry to hear that.
So this vegan person, somebody came in here one day and said, you go debate vegan guy. And he emailed me back and said, sorry, I have a criterion. You have to have at least 1,000 subscribers and 1,000 views per video on average to be worthy to debate me, basically. Okay, asswipe. The thing is, the only reason I contacted him at all was somebody here said contact him. But regardless.
Wait, what happened?
You remember I emailed that vegan guy about debating him?
Yes.
When somebody here in the live stream prompted me
Yeah,
to
it
do
was
so.
a while ago, yeah.
He responded, he said, to debate him, I have to have at least 1,000 subscribers and 1,000 views per video average.
What?
And I don't have enough views to qualify to debate him.
That seems odd. Seems like he knows he's going to lose the debate.
Yeah, well, I said, is he just scared to debate me? I don't know. I don't know how much he knows about me or how much he looked into me.
Rachel, do you have a guilt complex, Jinx? I don't know if it's a complex, but guilt is something that I have dealt with since I was a kid. I was raised Roman Catholic, so the guilt trip was used on me for sure as a kid.
What do you think a guilt complex is, Jinx? I want to know what you define as a guilt complex. Do I have one? I want to know. Somebody diagnosed me.
You're like, yeah.
I feel guilty about certain things.
Yeah. They say, guilt, it's just like jealousy. It's like you should admit if you feel guilty and then either, claim it, yeah, I really shouldn't have done that, or don't do it again so you don't feel that guilty feeling.
I often feel guilty about what I'm not doing. I'll typically feel guilty about my dad. I'm not paying enough attention to him or something,
Yeah.
So that's kind of an ongoing maintenance kind of obligation that's frustrating. I feel guilty, then I hang out with them some, then I feel less guilty, then I start feeling guilty again and hang out with them some.
That's good, though.
Yeah, I wish I were a better son.
You're not that bad of a son.
Well,
at least you spend time with him.
Yeah.
And the thing is that you do, offer to help, and you do help in ways when you can. But he's pretty independent. He likes to take his own advice.
Yeah, that's true. I don't mind feeling guilty about my dad because, to the extent that it makes me do a better job in my relationship with him, then it's a good thing. Kind of a depressing topic, frankly. It's weird how people get old, and
People get old and what? Are you really reading?
I'm reading.
She asked for my number, but I said
I'm pretty forward of her.
That's just happening, though.
You feel guilty every day for past mistakes you have a hard time forgetting?
Well, sometimes that happens to me.
I mean,
I don't know if it's a complex, but I'll have a pang. Oh, hello, Majesty.
She was crazy, James.
Oh, Majesty. He's buzzing a bird, huh? Bird. You can fight for your own food. Oh, Capio. You'd be okay on making afraid. Yes, you would. Oh, good baby boo. Kitty pageant winner.
You gotta forgive yourself.
Kitty pageant.
That's what it boils down to. If you're concerned with guilt over something that's done and over with, then you gotta forgive yourself. Hi, Levi. I'm glad you're here.
Oh, kitty pageant winner. Oh, kitty pageant winner.
Well, see, that's the thing. My dad doesn't guilt trip me at all. He'll get mad if I'm not being very on top of stuff, and then he'll usually get mad at like some little thing to indicate to me that I'm fucking up.
Like what?
Well, like like the other day when I was still messing with the tree before I'd apparently fixed the tree. He came over and said, Are you gonna fix the tree forever, or are you ever gonna fix anything else around here? I said, Well, what do you want me to fix? And this door right here had been broken for a while, and he had given me the replacement thing to fix it, and I hadn't gotten around to it, and so that's what he wanted me to do. So I did that, and it was sort of indicative of me being in a phase of just not engaging with him very often, and so I think
Oh,
that
you put that on?
Yeah, I fixed that door, the little door there.
Oh, you did a great job, baby.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Levi. What was the title of the video that hinting to anything? Well, it was hinting to the fact that rather than the title was right after I had read this email from this vegetarian guy saying that he wasn't going to debate me because I didn't qualify. Yeah, I have to have 1,000 subscribers plus 1,000 views average per video, or that's his criterion, and so I don't meet his criterion.
Wow.
But I'm welcome to check him out on his whatever server, his Discord server. I wrote rather a snarky reply.
That's good. Yeah, right? This guy got the nerve. Exactly.
But the title of your channel is Talking with Trans People? That's true. That is the title of my channel.
Is this dude a famous person?
No, he's just some vegetarian YouTuber.
So,
I guess he's bigger than me.
well, he clearly was like, he knew he was going to lose.
That's my take on it, too.
Because that's a very weak. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Levi.
The thing is, I have almost 6,000 subscribers, but
yeah,
it's true that I don't average 1,000 views per video. But that would depend on, I guess, and how long. Frank James gets 1,000 views in probably an hour.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'll win the vegetarian debate, hands down. With regular debate topics, there aren't cognitive functions, things that are fairly well argued out. People have some sort of consensus on frameworks and stuff. If you're on the wrong side of it, you got no chance.
Yeah. It doesn't bode well for him, really.
I already have in place all the possible arguments one might make about this, all the responses. I mean, he's toast before we even push go live.
Mm-hmm. Your Majesty.
We live in a world where JoJo Siwa is big. Who's JoJo Siwa?
Is your boyfriend out there?
Frank James is a Twanink looking dude.
It's like, do you mean like twink? Like, as in like the gay term?
I think that's what he means, yeah. I've tried to out-debate an ENTP. It didn't work well, but for one day. Well, look, the thing to note is this. There are a lot of ENTPs who are not necessarily great debaters. They may all think they're great debaters, but most of them are shitty, frankly.
Who?
ENTPs. Because being a great debater is not about type. I mean, it's partially that, but it's an actual skill set. It's like saying, oh, he's an ISTP, he must be a great carpenter. Well, only if he studied carpentry. It's true they have a much greater potential to be a good carpenter than an ENTP, but they still got to study carpentry.
Right.
Yeah. The reason I'm a good debater is not just because I'm an ENTP, it's because I'm a professional debate coach, an ex-competition debater, and a particularly successful debate coach.
Yeah, and I'm comfortable being in front of the screen because I've been doing acting stuff since I was a kid. So it's something learned.
Yeah.
You practice.
Right.
Hey, Alexandra Cruz. What's going on? I feel like it's been a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Alexandra Cruz. Hi.
How's it
It's been a while,
going?
indeed.
You will win one day, Levi.
That's one of the frustrations I have is everybody thinks they're qualified in debate because everybody can argue with somebody else. Nobody has an inability to take a conflicting position. But especially smart people, they don't have any experience with argumentation, will come in with a lot of undeserved bravado.
I feel you, Zayla Black. Like I used to feel guilty for doing so much. Like having expectations placed on me that I didn't even know was an expectation. Stuff like that. And then being like, am I a bad person because I didn't do that? Or even like not calling my grandma enough. I feel guilty about that.
Well, I know you brought a lot of guilt into the relationship for how you harvested all that adrenochrome from those infants. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. All I want to do is keep you completely. I love you.
I love you, too.
Oh, yeah. It's been forever. I've been working. Not much time to be online. I missed you guys. Were you working?
She's working at the adrenochrome factory. Harvesting adrenochrome from children for the elites to, I don't know, trip out on? What are they supposed to do on it? Please elaborate about Catholic guilt as a concept. My friend talked extensively about this topic, but I don't know if I fully understand it.
Well, Catholic guilt is like we were raised to have confession, so to be absolved of our sins. So what would happen would be you would commit a sin, right? I don't know. Maybe say you have a fight with your parents, so you go to the priest. You're in a box. You don't see the priest. You're just talking to them side by side through like a like a ventilator source.
Could be a ghost for all you know.
Yeah, it could be. You never know. That's the thing. You can't see him. And then you confess your sin. They tell you maybe some advice, and then they give you the prayers and the Hail Marys that you have to do, and then you're absolved of your sins, supposedly. But it is a stereotype that ESFJ Italian mothers guilt their children. Oh, you're gonna leave the home. What am I gonna do? I don't know how to take care of myself. Oh, who's gonna do your laundry? Huh? You know how to do your laundry? You don't know how to do your laundry.
Here's the thing about Catholic guilt trip. In Catholicism, you sin in thought as well as in action.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So basically every time you do something, you sin twice, but it's possible to not do it and still sin, which I think is probably not a wise metaphysics, because of course you have to be able to consider conditionally various actions, including potentially sinful ones, in order to exercise moral agency at all. So I'm gonna have to differ from the Catholic Church on this matter. Kanka, Krista, Sarma, Pagoo, hello.
It never, it worked, but it was not used in the proper way. If I have my mom, I don't like guilt trips. I really don't. But even if I have my mom being like, "Who's going to do your laundry for you?" I'd take that over like manipulation. Although that is manipulation. So.
Well, Jesus said to look at a woman with lust to sin. Imagine that time. Well, it's true in the sense that, like, to the extent that when Rachel and I are going around in the world, I'm checking out chicks. It's not appropriate. It's a minor little sin, It's like but it's nevertheless, you don't have to do that, I have a girl that I was supposed to look at lustfully, and it's this one.
Thanks, babe. That actually is like so mature of you to say.
Of course.
Because it's true, I don't think you would be happy if I were to.
No, but there's historically been a bit of a null standard there that people have sort of been like, well, men are men and women are women, but
yeah, but
I don't know. It's we have a relationship that values fairness highly,
right? And I mean, I do think that you would be upset if you caught me checking out, like.
Of course I would.
Yeah. So.
Of course I don't want you looking at schlong image bombs.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Let's see here.
It's not a fleeting appreciation. There's those memes. Have you ever seen those memes about it's like a guy with a girl and they're holding hands and the guy's like, whoa, and the girlfriend's looking at the girl. I love those memes. They're so good.
I've seen that picture.
It's like I
almost crashed into my dad because he's been checking out a girl so long ago and dies from a glance of it. Look, the thing is, there are occasions when, like, let's say I'm sitting at a restaurant table and it's outside. It's out on it's right next to the sidewalk. We're sitting there and we're eating or whatever, and I look up and right here, there's like a big ass pair of boobs that are just on the sidewalk, walking right past me, just practically unveiled. Obviously, I'm gonna. What?
I probably would too, though, right?
Right.
There's just some things. I mean, imagine a gorgeous guy walking down the street. Wouldn't you looking like, say, like he had like coiffed hair and like look like model-esque? Wouldn't you kind of notice too?
Okay, when you say gorgeous guy, here's who I imagine. I imagine Ricky Martin.
Okay, all right, you can. But you would look, right?
When I look at Ricky Martin, yeah, I probably look at him.
Right.
Probably look at me like.
I'm thinking like.
Who's a gorgeous man?
A gorgeous man. Okay, maybe not gorgeous, but like very like you know what I mean? Who stands out? Or a guy wearing like a ridiculous outfit.
I remember one time seeing a couple at a restaurant. I don't remember who I was with or where the context at all, but it was. I was like
DiCaprio.
I'm like, holy shit! It's one of those. Look at that! Look at that couple. It was like male supermodel and woman supermodel together.
Wow, that's like a good-looking couple.
The two genetic lottery winners together, and it was
like Tom Brady is a good-looking guy, right? And he has a beautiful wife too. That's a couple that like you look at and you're like, oh my god, like that's a lot of attractiveness right there.
Other males I think of like attractive males. Anything like I guess
John Stamos.
John Stamos. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. What about
Ricky Martin? That's a funny one. How about the guy who plays Thor? People think that he's very good looking.
Guy.
Yeah. I mean, he's supposedly about your height too. He's like 6'3", so he would. That's hard to miss, right? So if I had Thor in front of me, I think that like I would probably notice too. But you would also. That's the thing. I think. Here's the thing: when you're checking out women, when a person is checking out others consistently in front of their partner, you're kind of sending out a signal that you're not really attracted to your partner. I mean, it just comes out that way because it's like if it becomes a habit, you know, that's just not a good sign. It's just not a good sign.
I mean, the thing about it is, it probably in reality isn't much of a sign. It's probably something the man brought into the relationship as a habit of looking at chicks.
Yeah.
Which one can fall into.
Okay.
But one needs to break it when they're in the relationship.
Yes, that's more of what I mean. Is it's like, you know, there's been a conversation about it, and like, it's just
because when I'm in single mode, I am looking at chicks all the time.
Yeah. So it takes time to get out of single mode, and I'm not gonna like judge you.
Because if I'm in single mode, then I'm on the market for a chick. I'm looking for a chick.
Yeah.
You know? So what am I going to do naturally do is look at chicks. Do we have a hall pass? No, we don't have a hall pass. That's ridiculous.
What the hell is that?
That's
Who said that?
You know what a hall pass is?
Yes, I do. We're not hall passing. Who has that?
What exactly is it? Somebody to detail the specifics of it to me.
Yeah, what is the specifics of the hall pass? I saw the movie, but I wasn't impressed.
You're welcome, Zanny. Thank you for the video.
Yeah, it was great.
What was I talking about?
I don't know.
That hall pass thing. What is the idea of that? That you like both partners get one time to sleep with somebody else, or something like that?
Hey, male anthrax.
Like each of you have one celebrity you would be okay with your partner doing it with. I have no celebrity that.
I wouldn't be okay with that either.
Zero.
I wouldn't be okay with that either. That would break my heart.
Yeah, of course. It's
like
the consequences, the emotional consequences would be devastating.
Yeah.
We don't have a hall pass.
So do you have a hall pass, Lamar? Who's your celebrity that you would choose? Sometimes it's a sign. Sometimes it is a sign. Okay, so I don't want to bring up a past relationship, but it is an instance in where my red flag was, or yellow flag, I would say. I got like a yellow flag where my ESFJ, he tried to impress every fucking waitress he came into contact with. Like with jokes and stuff, and I would always be like, stop trying to be funny, because it's just like you're ripping me apart. Because one, you're not funny, and two, like, can you give me some respect? Like, it doesn't have to be like I don't know. It was just like blatant like passes. It was strange. I never trusted him. I even though it showed he showed a lot of feelings towards me and interest towards me, I always felt that if he were tempted to cheat, he would.
Okay, so contrast you and me going into a restaurant versus him and you going into a restaurant.
It is awful, Andy. Thank you. Way different. Oh my gosh, so different. Nice.
I sometimes make jokes though, right? With the waitress.
Yeah, but friendly is different than
flirty.
Yeah. You want to be friendly.
I think I'm an appropriate amount of friendly with with wait staff.
I agree. I what I'm saying has nothing to do with you.
I know, but I just like to feel like I'm winning over him.
You fucking are. That dude, I mean, we liked each other. I was part of his family for a while, but like I supervised him. How fun is that? Not fun. I felt like the bad guy all the time because I was constantly like, you're doing this wrong, or like, just as much as like he annoyed me, I think I annoyed him. So.
Well, same thing with me and my ESFJ. By the end, we both annoyed each other plenty.
He was an ESFJ. He really was a sweet guy, and he's gonna make a great like husband for someone one day. I'm an INFJ, so I.
It's hard to speak ill of an ESFJ after a relationship, even.
Yeah.
They're not bad breakups. Like my ESFJ and we had a peaceful breakup, and I still speak well of her and say she's a good woman. She's a good mother to my kid.
I feel like he's.
And I'm sure you feel the same way about it.
Like whatever, dude. He's whatever.
I mean, but he's a good person.
He's a good. Yeah, exactly. Like we just didn't gel.
But that's not always the case that you end relationships basically saying, yeah, he's a good person. Sometimes you don't end those relationships saying
right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that's one thing about ESFJs is you're probably at least going to end not thinking they're evil,
Yeah, it's going to be difficult. It was very difficult, actually, to break up with him. I had to break up with him over the phone because he just didn't want to end it. It was painful. That was painful. Dragging it out. But
was he your same age as you?
But I tend to vent a lot because of my FE. What?
Was he the same age as you?
He was a year older. We met on Bumble. I remember telling my therapist at the time that there were a lot of yellow flags with him, like the flirting with the waitress and constantly interrupting me and not really taking my needs into consideration. I saw those as yellow flags. I didn't see them really as red flags until later on in the relationship when I saw, oh, he's not going to change. We've had discussions about this multiple times. He's not going to change. I got to go. had to phone break up with him because I tried to break up with him twice in person, and he was so good at effing me. Like, I will change, and he cried. Yeah. And I'd just be like, okay, like, let's just end this and let's try again. But then the final straw was when he disregarded my polite way of asking him, hey, I actually didn't even ask. I was like, hey, look, I've been to a lot of weddings with you this year. I haven't even been to this many weddings for my own friends in a year. I don't know this next person that I'm going to this wedding with you with. Like, it's been a lot for me. I don't really feel like I'm not going. Like, I can't go. I'm not going to go to this last one. Totally disregarded my needs. Put me in a very awkward position where I was at this wedding with, like, it wasn't just a small wedding. It was one of those, like, weddings you see on TV with, like, a lot of, like, lights, and, like, everything was satin, and, like, there was, like, so many bridesmaids and so many flowers. It was, like, way over the top, and, like, I didn't even want to be there. And finally I was like, this dude just does not listen to me. Like, I'm miserable, and you're like, see, that was guilt for me. I felt so guilty for feeling miserable at this wedding that I didn't want to be at in the first place, but I felt guilty because he was such a nice guy. And finally I was like, that was the last straw. That going to that wedding was the last straw for me. And pretty soon after that, and then the other last straw was that he was up for, like, a promotion at a job, and he totally choked, and he had, like, no motivation to, like, work up the ladder for anything. So I was like, okay, not only do you not take my advice, but you don't listen to me when it comes to my needs and wants. So, like, I'm done with you. Like, so I broke up with him over the phone because I tried to break up with him twice in person to do the right thing. Yeah, he's a nice on paper guy. He's not going to respect, he
effies but doesn't respect.
Yeah.
Effing is not the same thing as respect.
Right.
That's what you will learn if you're with an ESFJ.
Mm-hmm. This X talk's funny.
I knew an ENTJ in college, not the nicest person, but that's just him. I have met a few INTJ who were nice. No, ENFJ and ESFJ are both FE noms, but ENFJ and INFJ get along better than ESFJ and ISFJ. Rachel and Zandy seem to hit it off right away.
Yeah, right away. It was very nice. She's very warm and inviting, and I felt like I can talk to her for a long time, and that we were like close and like could talk for a lot.
Well, you know what? That would be a good name for that inner type relation, is the hit it off right away type. INTP, ENTP, INFJ, ENFJ.
Yeah, it's true.
Like my dad, ESTJ, ISTJ, with Cameron.
Yeah, with
right?
Cameron.
Just hit it off right away.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a useful piece of information in life if you're thinking, like, I knew before I introduced Cameron and my dad, and my dad was going to love Cameron. But it wasn't really a factor in the decision or anything. If you do have a chance to make a decision, like, you want to set up people on a first date and watch them hit it off right away and talk for hours and hours,
Yes.
and then set them up with their
extroverted or
set them up with the introverted version of them or the extroverted version.
Yeah.
The other aspect of them, the other, whatever they call it, orientation, I guess. I think Batman's an ISTJ.
Batman's an ISTJ.
I think so.
Because of all his cars and stuff. I get along with ESFJs. I'm their supervisor type. So it's like, I feel like they're always trying to impress me. And I really don't care much about what they care about. So it can come off as sort of fake. But ISFJs, I have a great time with. ESTP females, I seem to have good rapport with. And ESFP girls, I do have a good rapport with as well. Just, supervisor, any.
Just don't tell them they're ESFPs.
Yeah, right, exactly. Don't tell them about MBTI.
Don't tell them they're
ESFPs. Don't tell them to do that. Yeah, just don't tell them they're ESFPs.
I talk about NI of ENTPs. Well,
Zandy.
It's ignoring, and that can be difficult. For example, the perfect example is me using NI to hammer on my ESFJ ex-wife about all the reasons why, she needed to, all these truths that she needed to be hit with. Or same with Kimberly, I did as well. I hammered him with the NI. What I'm ignoring the whole time is, you should leave, Eric. You moron.
That was an activity partner, right?
Yeah.
Well, that was kind of me, like, with my activity partner, too, right? I think I was getting hammered on the head, too. I'm glad that didn't last long.
Oh, Zandy.
I agree.
That's so moist.
Oh,
much moisture.
It was so nice to talk to you. I hope. Do you have my personal number?
Yeah, not your number.
Yeah. So anytime you want to talk, I'm here. Especially if it's girly talk.
Yeah, it gets uncomfortable when they try to impress you. That's true. But look, I like ESFJs. I like them. They're my activity partners. I don't want to be married to them.
Yeah.
And I'm just done with. I'm done with dating forever, obviously. But the thing is, I need somebody to be receptive to some NI. The truth should impact the person I'm with. Because even though I may not apply it to myself, I will unavoidably use it all the time because, and I think the thing is, ENTPs have a much easier path to NI than ENFPs do because, TI is not necessarily inconsistent with NI. Being objective certainly helps you to get to NI more easily than being subjective does. Okay, Matthew, you disagree all you want. You be Captain Disagreement.
Zandy, my number starts with 516. So if it's that one, it's the same number. We all can get along. It's just I like to talk about socionics sometimes because some of it, there are grains of truth to it. Grains. I don't think it's a
it provides
Bible.
It provides us the framework to talk about intertype relations because they sort of invented intertype relations. Intertype relations conceptually exist outside of socionics, but it's a starting point that we can use to talk about the intertype relations. And I like their quadras as a dividing thing.
Yeah, I do too. That's so nice.
Thanks. Other than fattening them up for harvest.
Ooh, for harvest.
You haven't heard that name in years? What name? What was I looking up earlier? Oh, what was I thinking about earlier? I was thinking about handsome men. I was really having trouble coming up with handsome men. I just keep coming up with men I like.
Oh my
you
God.
know,
like who?
Steve Martin, for example.
He's handsome. I used to have a crush on him.
He's handsome.
Yeah,
right?
he's handsome.
Okay.
When I was a
I think,
little girl.
maybe he's not handsome. Maybe it's just I like him as a person.
He's handsome.
Okay.
He's considered. He's also funny too. So women think he's. But he's considered handsome.
Okay.
I think he's considered handsome. Yes.
How about Ryan Seacrest? Is he handsome?
He's a little metrosexual for me.
But if
he's handsome though.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like you know that guy who sings that song like the girl's messed up on him again and he's like super handsome looking guy.
The young guy?
Yeah.
Who like all the moms love?
I don't know anything about him except
moms love him.
What is his name? Song.
He's got that curly hair a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. Let me see if I can find the video. I'll look on the playlist here. I'll find
what?
Let me mute here for a second so I don't get copyrighted.
And
okay, I found the guy I was looking for. Okay,
I also think that, there's just some things that you look at. Like, okay, if a boob fell out of a shirt, if balls fall out of shorts, if someone's not wearing, like, underwear. Like, there's just like things that like, and I don't mean in like staring up their skirts, but I mean like you can tell like that they're not wearing underwear. Like there's just certain things that the eye goes to, and there's not much more meaning behind that, but it's like kind of an art form. You don't want it to become ogling or whatever, oogling. Then it's like, then it gets to the point of like, especially if you're with another person, your significant other, then it's just disrespectful.
Yeah. I mean, I remember the one occasion where I was just sort of really felt mesmerized into trying to look was that occasion when there was that girl who was working at the pot shop who had a shirt on with no string on the back.
You were like,
and she kept seeming to somehow magically move just so you could never see her nipples, you know, just like somehow magically. And I was just like, how is she doing this? You know, how could she be wearing the shirt and you can never quite see anything? But the thing is, Rachel revealed the trick to me. Here's the trick. They have like tape or something there.
Double-sided tape.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's totally cheating. The thing is,
hey,
if I had known that, I probably wouldn't have been quite so interested in looking. But that's a very effective way of like, of sort of compelling your attention a little bit.
There's a suggestibility.
Hi, Eileen.
Hey, Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, well, because the illusion there is that it's only through her deft movements that she's preventing you from seeing her nipples. And so if that's the case, then you can always think, well, she could mess up at any moment, right?
So you're still going to
she has to be super careful. So at any moment she could slip up a second.
Yeah.
But if she's taped there, then that's cheating because it's not really like.
Oh, it's not cheating. That's strategy. I mean, it's suggestive. You know, like I don't know. I wouldn't. I'd have to be really high to wear a backless shirt with just.
There's no strings.
Yeah, that's a very hard thing.
Yeah, it's James gets it. He understands it's cheating. Let's see. What if it's a superior? I'd let it go. I can't see that. Run away from me too fast.
Honey, ooh, never mind. I wanted to sing it, but boo.
It's a good song. If you haven't heard it, it's a song by Johnny, Jawny, called Honey Pie. What if it's a superior? I'd let it go. Like I had an EHP teacher and I'd want to flex to show how I got it, but I'd be like, whatever, I'm just going to go to work and I'm gone. Huh?
What's the type that the community, find yourself most drawn to, or like that you dated the most? Have you dated any type more than others?
Well, I haven't dated a lot, but I know I've dated at least 2 ISFPs and I think 2 INFPs. Although my first girlfriend might have been an INTP. I'm not sure. And then I did an ISFJ and ESFJ. I'm not counting like girls I slept with in college that I don't remember. That's about it.
Aww. I love you.
I love you too.
I didn't mean to talk about that.
It's okay.
I wonder if people date types, they have physical types. Some people go for a physical type over and over again.
A physical type. No, I never prioritized specific appearances in general.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
So
I
character.
guess. I mean, it didn't, but it. it's really not.
I know.
You and I are both countervaluing FI too much.
Yeah. We yeah, it's true. Yeah, but like, what are the chances of us being even together? And the fact that like I'm here and I'm an INFJ, it's just like that's a lot of like metaphysical stuff happening right there.
No, I don't have any video for her I can put up, Erin. She doesn't want me to put it up.
You can't stand censors, Jason Blood? The first time I really started to watch YouTube videos on the MBTI types was learning about the differences between sensors and intuitives, because like I had my fill of talking about the weather and the pleasantries and what I was doing for a job.
Don't forget about what you did today.
And what I did that
Where you
day.
went,
Yeah,
which
who I
errands you got
saw.
completed. Don't forget about your errands.
What I did the day.
The things you bought.
I don't remember.
Don't forget about what stuff you bought at the store.
At the store. Exactly. Did I get it on sale? No.
You won't believe the price I got on these ribs.
You know what, though? It's great when they find those prices. It really is.
I know. I'm excited to watch the one that said descriptive words. I love a good descriptive words, yet you don't use enough of them. Love a nice juicy word used right. Would you like me to use barnacle? You're a barnacle.
Ooh, barnacle is very juicy.
Am I using it wrong? Matthew Alistair is a barnacle.
Can we kiss it? Oh, Gee! You know, I haven't had it all day. It's so nice.
My beauty pants, McGee.
I love you.
I love you too.
Oh, this is nice. Oh.
It is nice. Matthew, you're both a barnacle and a rascal. And you're a producer of turgidity. Look, let's not diss on censors. I'd like to do it too.
I
sometimes.
definitely
I did
not mean to do that at all.
No, I know. It's easy to do, and I sometimes feel a little bit like, ay. Well, you know, but sometimes my dad tells really cool stories, and sometimes he tells really boring ass stories.
Yeah, and there are times when, like, your mom would give me sensible advice. You know, just easy, simple advice. It's,
I wish you could have met her back when she was
around.
normal. She would have liked to.
She did like me.
Yeah, I know. But I wish you would have really met Jane, you know?
I know.
Because that's...
I'd be able to talk to
my
her.
mom has not been my mom for 10 years at least. Maybe longer. Not really.
That's so funny.
My dad's really smart. My dad has a PhD in philosophy. He's an ESTJ. What's funny though is really quite early on, I ran afoul of the limits of his knowledge. I'd ask questions that he didn't have answers for, and would basically say, "Well, you know, that's not in the chapter, or whatever. That wasn't covered in the book." That kind of thing, you know. My dad's great though. A very smart guy.
I really do enjoy his stories. There's a lot of wisdom and exciting tales.
Yeah, he's done a lot of shit. Like,
Yeah.
if you want to talk about having a life that you can look back on and say, well, I had a lot of fun. I did a lot of stuff. I left no stone unturned. My dad really left no stone unturned. He traveled everywhere he wanted to travel to. He did all the things. He raced cars. He was at that Le Mans that they made a movie out of.
Yeah.
You know, he was working at that Le Mans.
That's so crazy.
He went with that guy who got crashed into the hospital.
Yep, and it was in a book.
Yeah. So, you know, he's not over yet. He's in Vegas right now.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. He never was a player with the women. He's expressed that to me. Like, since I moved back in here, I mentioned to him things like, because I started taking that ENTJ lady out on a couple of dates, and I'd say to him, we're going on a date, and he'd be like, I never really quite figured out all that lady stuff. You know, he said something along those lines. Like, and I say, well, I didn't either until recently.
Yeah, but you know what? It's my dad used to tell me, and I see my dad as being really charming, that he was very intimidated by going up to women.
I love to see you yawning. It shows improved SI.
Thanks, baby.
Your SI is improving. My NI hopefully is improving as well.
Yeah. Oh, baby bunkins. Oh my goodness. Baby on for a little Alec.
Some people with high IQs can be easily played, though, because their fault is that everyone's stupid. True, they're likely to underestimate you. A British girl I once met took pride in the fact that she knew the word orifice. Hubris at its worst. I wouldn't call that hubris. I would not call that hubris, but that's something, I guess. The thing is, that assumes a person with high IQ is actively thinking themselves smarter than everybody else. I generally don't think I think of myself like that. Maybe I'm one of the people that the people with high IQ is going to who's going to underestimate. I don't know. Can you talk about dimensionality, or do you not believe in it? Well, I think what's called dimensionality is better understood as something like operationability on various planes and times. So you've got real time, you got turn based. If you've got SE polar, then you're limited to basically SE real time, and it's going to link to a specific prompt on the metaphysical plane. Thank you, Matthew. I agree with that. Eric's dad is badass to levels you wonder what he could have done with NI, even if he had it. Yeah. People with high IQ think they're smart. People with low IQ think they're geniuses. People with average IQ think they're stupid. All in general, of course. Well, true. Yeah, it seems you're betting on things. Do you think tiredness is FI? No, tiredness is SI. I think Rachel and I are both feeling pretty ready for bed here.
Yeah.
I know I have. I feel like I feel both like I used the day wisely and wasted the day at the same time. like the day's gone, and I didn't do anything with this one thing all day long. Am I glad I did it? Well, I'm not really sure how I feel about it yet. I suspect that
Sleep on it.
I have to sleep on it, listen to it tomorrow, see what I think. I agree, Faye. I totally agree. Rachel's hair looks great.
Oh, thank you.
Rachel looks great in general, doesn't she?
Thank you. I feel good. I feel really happy. I called my dad today, and he said that I sounded really good, which was nice to hear. He's happy I'm on good medicine too.
Okay, so I'm gonna smoke this cigarette, and
Thanks, Alexander Cruz. I probably definitely carry off more of a daughter view look.
makes me feel smug, really.
Yeah?
Yeah, like I pulled it off. It's like I got my 35-year-old girlfriend, but I also got my 27-year-old girlfriend. You know?
But I feel the same way.
Let's call
Because
it
like in mentality, you're like 27,
if that.
and you've got a nice young bod too.
Thanks.
Yeah. Plus, you've got just like youthful energy. Thanks, Faye S. I appreciate it. Who's behind me?
Oh, what's that behind you?
Oh.
It's a blanket
Oh, yeah, it's a
and
blanket.
a box of hats. It's not very exciting.
I know. Yeah, the energy. Yeah, Eric does have a very youthful energy. It's terrifying. Oh my gosh. Well, the blanket, the blue tapestry thing that you want to put up is clean. So, hey, Octavia Silva.
Hey, look, it's activity. Oh, feeling guilty. We have to do that, Rachel.
It's been on my mind today.
Okay. We've got to get a manila envelope. I'll get one from the office. My dad not here. We'll just go in the office, get the envelope.
Mail it off.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yes, Octavia Silva, we will mail you your shit.
Yes.
It traveled all the way to Washington and back with us on the grounds that I was gonna mail it when we were on the road somewhere, but of course that never happened.
She's gonna get her prize in 2022.
No, you'll get it. You'll get it soon.
I had a feeling you were gonna remind us about it.
We're gonna mail that shit tomorrow. But it's good that you
are.
Tomorrow, Rachel.
Okay, tomorrow. I did a lot of. I got all of our laundry done today. We had a shit ton of laundry. And I feel really good about it.
You channeled your inner housewife.
Yeah, it was really nice. It felt really, really nice.
It always feels good for me, too, to channel my inner house husband when I do cleaning and picking up and stuff.
Yeah?
A little
yeah, so that,
hit and miss, but...
That blanket, yeah, well, the blanket scared someone, so... It smells really good, though. Hot?
Yeah, it's about right. Did either of us play sports when we were younger? I played AYSO soccer when I was 8 or whatever. And then in a non-organized sport, I played pickup basketball from, around the end of high school through through my late 20s, I played pickup basketball.
Nice.
I also was I skied for a bit when I was younger. I skied. I used to ride my bike a lot.
I like to ride my bike a lot too. I played soccer up until junior year of high school, and then I played volleyball in middle school.
And these days,
I was very nervous about trying out. The tryout part really made me feel nervous.
On trial.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, Rachel and I play a game called Sexual Intercourse for exercise. Occasionally, we'll go jogging too.
I like that.
We should go jogging again. Seems like everyone plays soccer in their childhood. Yeah, well.
Yeah, it's the easiest one. Right?
Yeah, I guess that's the thing is all you need is a soccer ball and 2 nets in a field.
Mm-hmm.
Baseball, in contrast, requires a lot of equipment. Basketball is equivalently low equipment,
low maintenance.
The thing is, you also want a game that includes a lot of kids. AYSOs, everyone plays. Nobody sits on the bench.
That's nice. That's fun.
So they need plenty of positions to fill.
Marbles was a challenging sport, huh? I think one of the most expensive sports, on the other hand, is hockey. All the gear that you have to get for skiing's pretty expensive too, right?
Skiing's expensive.
Maybe winter sports you need more gear for.
Yeah, my ball handling skills are not great, I guess. They're adequate. I tend to be among the taller people on the court since I'm not playing against NBA players,
Yeah.
So I tend to get a lot of rebounds. I'm also able to squirm through people,
You are swervier. You are so nimble.
Oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm. We're at the beach, and a wave will come by out of nowhere, catching Eric off guard, and all I see is him boop 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 boop, running, skipping.
I did not get the genetic lottery. The thing is, you could say in some ways, I feel like I did. I feel like I'm healthy. I have high metabolism. I never really gain or lose much weight. My body can handle a lot of stuff, but I'm not pretty. I'm never going to be a supermodel.
Yeah, but isn't that okay?
That's totally fine. No, I have no problem.
I give you the supermodel treatment because supermodels get face masks and stuff, and we have butt masks, so that makes you're my model.
Thanks, baby. Well, it would depend who shot at Jake Hurwitz. If it was, we usually played half court, so if it was the other team that shot it, I'd have to take it up to the top of the key to reset, But it's an advantage, I suppose. But the thing is, for a long time, I played on the court on Del Mar. The court on Del Mar, it was some days, depending on if I was African American, it would just be all African Americans there, including me. Other days, if I was say Caucasian, then I'd be the only Caucasian person there. So, and it was a fairly intense game. And a lot of fairly reasonably tall people played there, I guess. I almost got into a fight there one time.
Really? That happens on the basketball court. It does.
People weren't, people were being a little physical underneath the basket.
Oh, come on. That's a foul.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's he doesn't want me to post up and then pushing me out of there, and it's like
It's gonna get. Yep.
Have I ever been dunked on? No. I didn't. There were probably people. There were people at the place where I played who could dunk, but if you're playing half court, you're gonna get a lot fewer dunks. And most people who could dunk probably would only dunk on a breakaway. And I almost always play half court because full court's just too exhausting, you know?
I forget that you play full court. Isn't that funny?
Full court is too tiring.
Yeah.
And the place I played, you know, I don't think not very many people could dunk. A couple people could, but like I said, probably they wouldn't have the opportunity to do so in half court. If they would, they'd be dunking on nobody. You know, it'd be like they would have they'd see an open lane and it would be enough of an open lane they'd be able to dunk. I used to play frisbee football. That was fun.
What is it concerned with in regards to that broad externally focused scope? SNE?
NI is a broad view of internally stored knowledge. It's not a broad view of internally stored knowledge. It's a universalist view. So, in other words, what one remembers from an experience is not an impression of that experience if one is actually using NI, but rather the takeaway from that experience. For SI polar, that's maximally realized. But for somebody like Rachel, who's got SI in the 8th slot, she does retain impressions of things, but she also primarily operates in the universalist understanding of them. So when you're contrasting extroverted intuition and introverted intuition, we start with saying it's not the right kind of thing to contrast because one's a knowledge function and one's an action function. So they don't really contrast very well. They're not going to be symmetrical the way you want them to be. It'll be symmetrical with SI, not with NE. But what NE does is it generates meanings that build off of existing meanings on the external flow, off of things observed in the physical world, or off of my memories. That's what extroverted intuition builds off of. So whereas introverted intuition is it's a knowing function that says, for example, this sentence is better than that sentence because this sentence is concise and expressive and that sentence is wordy and confusing. That's an NI understanding. It's absolutely true, but not provable because it's a holistic understanding.
Yeah.
So what's NE? Well, NE generates both sentences. Potentially, or it generates one sentence and then NI knows that sentence is too wordy and complicated and confusing and then changes it to make it better. That's how an NE DOM works their way brute force towards NI. NI DOMs start with the other thing. They start with the basic idea, the simple thing, the heart of the matter, and they have to ideate spice onto that dish or else it's too NI bland.
It's funny that you say that. And you guys use the brute force because I think it's the opposite for me with NE. I have to really deliberate. I have to really sit and think about your words. And then I come to conclusions about things. I have to let it flow.
But that's when you're using NI on NE. It's not when you're using extroverted intuition.
No.
When you're using extroverted intuition, it's the same thing as when I am. It's just for you, it's you sort of consciously, I see you consciously lower the gate, you know, that normally makes you a knower.
Yeah.
To transition into temporarily into your 5th slot action function.
Yeah, it's true. Okay. I actually think I'm gonna.
Yeah, me too.
Needs much mangled words, Rachel. The same happens to me. Does it? It's more of like sometimes like in heated arguments, Eric will make some very valid points that I have to think about. Instead of hearing them in the tone, right? Because most people, I think, human reaction when a certain tone is being used, it can cause some people to have to turn off what they're hearing. It doesn't matter what's coming out of the mouth. So what I like to do is to take some time, even if it's just in the shower, to think about the words that Eric says. And, I'll come back around and I'll be like, you were right about that. Or, I really thought about what you said and I see where you're coming from.
The thing is, we don't really have those kind of arguments anymore either.
No.
Like, Rachel and I, when we have a discussion now, it's probably quieter than usual.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about something serious, and it's slower than usual. It's not heated at all.
No.
So.
Reheated. Like reheated club.
No, she is a TI user. It's just third slot, not second. So it's like, it is a value for her. It's just something that it's an afterthought always, It's like Effie and me. If I'm lucky, I don't make an FE mistake, but it's really running on autopilot. And I have to check in on it later, kind of. Okay, well, did I embarrass myself? Was that too much, Eric, for you? Yeah. Yes, you got to heat up the argument.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, IGS. It's something that going to therapy. One thing that I did get out of going to a behavioral center was that I did that is so cool. You look like a fish. And I learned to first of all talk more about what's going on inside of me, whatever that might be, and to not act all the time. So I'm still a 7, so I do have some impulsivity in me.
Yeah, you do. But of course, the key thing to remember also is there's Rachel, and then there's wrong medication Rachel.
Yeah.
Wrong medication Rachel is guilty of a lot of things that you say, well, I can be like this. What you mean is wrong medication Rachel can be like that. Regular Rachel doesn't really like that.
No, I'm not. That's why, like, a lot of people from high school, when they heard about, like, me having bipolar, were, like, kind of like, it got worse over time. And without the right medication, it's not going to get any better, right? I mean, it was maybe helping some things, but then not covering others.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you run behavioral health like a system, that's what's going to happen.
Well, and obviously, your time at the Bresley Williams Center for Large Breasted Women.
Yes, I am.
That helped you a lot too,
Yeah. Thanks, baby. I don't know what I'm talking about.
What was it like being married to an ESFJ? Well, it was like, what was it like? It was like being married to an ESFJ. There's a lot of wall signs, a lot of Real Housewives, I was asked to go to a lot of barbecues and weddings that were boring.
Was there a lot of wine? Did she drink a lot of wine?
No, I drank, so she kind of didn't, I guess. And it was a lot of forced poses for pictures.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of you stand there, smile. No, don't be silly.
Don't be silly.
Yeah. A lot of it's Candace's play. She's the director, and everyone needs to play their role.
Totally.
Now look, hey, it is fine, Rachel. If you want to play your role, you can add a little bit of your color to it. That's fine. As long as you're reading my lines and playing the role I assign you, you can bring all the flavor you want to it.
Okay. Yes. I felt that in friendships too. That ESFJ was the ringleader and that each friend had their assigned roles.
They are the writer and director and star of the play. You will know, you can tell how fair and decent and kind they are because they're really eager to talk with you about how you can make your own and individuate their plan for you.
Yes. So it was really hard. I remember at one point so I met my friend Alana, ESFJ, in 7th grade. We worked on a project together. And then junior year, maybe even 10th grade, we reconnected because of a mutual friend. And then Alana quickly established kind of the roles of everyone in the friend group. And as the friend went down, it was tough because there's this one time where I was kind of pitted against an ISFJ and an ESFJ, right? So the ISFJ wanted things done, her things way more. She liked to be home more. And the ESFJ didn't understand that or couldn't. I was getting sick of being the person always kind of adhering to what the ISFJ wanted to do. And once that, it was they were like this. All of a sudden, they were like this. But they go shopping together. They would talk about boys together. They give each other really good advice. And then once the ESFJ started to be well, I want to do more of what I want to do. I don't think the ISFJ is giving me enough. They kind of ended their friendship, and I was in the middle, and it was just fucking terrible. And then I didn't know my place in the friendship, and I'm like, okay, well, Angie used to be Alana's best friend. Now am I Alana's best friend? The hierarchy or whatever the roles of the friendships are really confusing.
Candace didn't want to spoil Delilah. Candace, I had to stop. The problem with Candace was she was a great parent until Delilah hit about 13, 14. As Delilah started needing and deserving more autonomy, Candace had trouble. Candace was into this whole I'm the adult, you're the child, that's all we need to know, you obey. And from the get-go, that was a problem area for us because I said, no, that's not how it works around here. You need to provide justifications for things that are defensible. And if Delilah has an objection and makes a point, you need to be responsive to that. There's no, I'm the adult, you're the child.
That's a good parenting.
Well, during Delilah's childhood, During Delilah's childhood, I think she let Candace get away with some of that stuff when I wasn't around. But when she started getting older, there was a showdown at one particular point where I said, "Listen, you're not the boss of anybody around here, Candace.
Hello,
We're all our own boss." And she said, "No, I am the boss." I was rather like stunned, like,
That's a good sun face right there, babe.
really? You think that? No, you're not. You're not the boss of her. You're not the boss of me.
That's good.
There are no bosses around here.
That's good borders. Drawing the line. That's where you. Autonomy is where you draw the line.
It's easy to. It was easy to
Drug sweats.
defend borders for Delilah. Defend boundaries for Delilah. So
That's good.
A lot easier than it is to defend my own boundaries.
Yeah.
And it's one of the areas where I had very clear feelings. I know what's acceptable in raising a kid as far as I'm concerned, and how to love somebody, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I wasn't going to allow Delilah to be steamrolled for just because of ESFJ arbitrary shit like, well, I'm older. If someone tests as an ESFJ but is a professional tarot card reader, they're more likely to be ENFJ. Yeah.
They're not really into that stuff. I remember I went to a crystal store with my sister. She was really into rose quartz at the time, and she was like, "I'm just not into it. It wasn't her thing." She's like, I don't feel like it's working for me. And I was just like, it's not for everyone. You know, it could be that it's not working for you, you know. I like crystals. I have like a bunch. I'll show you guys. An ENTP friend of mine really got me into crystals. I used to be into crystals as a kid because I was always into space, and the planetarium I went to had like geodes and pyrite and all this different like crystal stuff. So when I was a kid, I used to collect like rocks, but this is my rose quartz heart. This is lepidolite. It's like a lavender color, lavender gray. Tiger's eye. I actually lost my obsidian. I'm sorry, there is not. Amethyst. This is one of my favorite pieces of amethyst that I have because it's so deep. The color purple. Aw, Pee-Pee's worried about Daddy. I think he's okay. I know, no. I gotta get some obsidian. I'd like some. I have carnelian. That's my orange. I have amber. Green fluorite. And it has flecks of rainbow in it. Rhodonite, something like this. It's a pink and black, like marbled stone. Dark rocks are good. Yeah, the fluorite is fun. The fluorite has see, you can kind of like there's like flecks of rainbow in it.
Like, things didn't go into chaos at all in my family. I'm not overly lenient. I'm just not authoritarian at all. So it's like the thing about you need to win the argument is she needs to win. If I disagree with her, that means she needs to win the argument against me. So it's not like, oh, that's a cakewalk. The thing is, I often agreed with her over Candace. So in that case, you know, I wasn't necessarily gonna make the argument, but if I was making the arguments, say, well, Candace, you know, she's right.
Yeah.
Candace doesn't like to hear that.
This is my blue aquamarine. And then the last one that I have is tumbled garnet. So this is the dark one that I have. And if you look really closely, you can see flecks of pink in it. And it looks like a kidney. So that's why I like it. It's blue and it has to do with kidneys.
There's nothing demonic about naturally occurring stuff like rocks.
Isn't this like a nice little one for it?
Nice cup full of rocks.
Thanks, baby. I know.
I hope we're having a good night as well.
Thanks.
I think we are.
We are.
I use my inhaler. That helps a little bit.
That's good.
Whew.
I've had that too.
You know what? It's part of the reason I use this ground stuff. You know, the ground stuff is maybe the case that it lasts longer, but
you burn through it.
Maybe I just need to pack a small bowl or something. I'm not sure, but it makes me cough.
So, like, I always, when I was down to like nugs, like little nugs, or down to last what I had, right? That's when I would start grinding my stuff because I thought I wanted to get more out of it. I don't think there's a real need to do it for every time.
There is no time code. There are no quartz crystals.
No time. Aww. I love you.
Corey and I had a song about that lawnmower. There is no time code. There are no quartz crystals. It is some of the lyrics of that song.
I like that. You guys are so badass.
Corey actually texted me tonight.
Oh, yeah?
Wanting to know if I had a copy somewhere of Don Knotts. I said, yeah, I do, although this is edited from the original one, I think. It's not as long as the original. But I'll put it here too.
You are swollen. What, in your ankles?
Am I?
Fine, fussy, yeah, and swollen. Are swollen?
I just picked another adjective, basically.
No, that's right.
It's synonym for turgid.
We sang his a song about corporate America performance reviews.
I don't know if everybody's heard this, but this is Don Knotts. He did he was like 67 years old.
Television show, right?
And I guess he did some kind of demographic survey for him, his publicist or whatever. But his demographic, it would be good for him to come out with that hip hop album, like Don Knotts rap, right? But he hooked up with this producer that is a blues guy. He's a blues guy, but he claimed that he was a. He wasn't even very successful.
Now, who is this blues guy? Do you remember his name?
The Thunderbolt screaming jazz phone.
Huh?
Thunderbolt screaming jazz phone. What an odd name.
Jack Tripper. We're all hanging out the radio bagel. Performance review. Moisture. I've got performance reviews. I got some feedback for you. I'll put it in the performance review. I'll meet in my office. I'll give you the review. You take a piece of paper. You sign it in. You give it to me. I'll make a copy. I'll give it to HR. I'll come back. I'll give you a copy. Then I get to them. And I get to you. And we get to us. A baby. A chew. I'm gone. On the TV's gone.
Did I do with the weed? Oh.
Which weed are you looking for?
Pocket again.
That pocket will get you.
It really will. That's funny. What a kooky. You two kooks.
Yeah.
Kooky kids. I like it. That's cool he hit you up.
Yeah.
Paul Giamatti. We should watch Sideways and see how, like...
The movie's a little. I remember it really well. Like I've seen it a couple of
Tell me
times.
what you think.
It's intense for me to watch it.
Because all the drinking days you?
Not just that. I just in
Ugh.
so many ways I like. I don't exactly identify with the main character, but it just.
Paul Giamatti?
Yeah.
I can see that.
It just.
I can see that.
Whatever.
But he shouldn't be that character then. He's not the good person. I don't know.
Well, regardless, it was. There's a whole thing with the friend who's going with who's getting married, but he's a philanderer.
Yes.
And that always made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, I didn't like it 100%. Can I say?
I mean, that stuff's played for humor or without full seriousness or something. It makes me a little uncomfortable.
Me too. My dad really likes that movie, and it's very hard for me to say that I think it was mediocre. See, that's a contrarian relationship. My dad has this movie that he could go on and on about. We both saw it. We both saw Sideways. We both agree that it's a good movie. But my dad could talk about it for probably hours, where I could talk about it for like maybe 20 minutes. That's
Sideways.
Sideways, right. I like the movie, but my dad thought it was like this early 2000s masterpiece because it's dealing with interpersonal relationships, but they're really fucking messy.
Yeah.
One girl drives off with this dude's bike. Remember that? She steals his bike. It's like she's so free.
Yeah, I know.
It was like
Humor is serious business indeed. The most serious business of all.
humor is a serious business.
Every joke, an investment in our children's future.
Go for Catwoman. Curious. Kyra, it goes with your name. I have to go number 2, and I think I'll stay in and get into bed.
Okay, darling pants. I love you with my his heart. I'll be inside in a little bit, no doubt, and that is why I'll see you soon.
Take your
I'll see
time.
you soon.
I feel no need. You know.
Yeah,
Can you pull a card for me?
of course, my darling.
It's been a little bit.
I got a card for your heart and a card for your body and a card for your mind and a card for your soul.
Yay!
Card for your heart.
Five of Cups.
What's that one?
It's, I mean, I'm Five of Pentacles.
Five of Pentacles.
Like feeling like you don't have, being left out in the cold.
Well, you were kind of left out in the cold today a little
So I
bit.
guess maybe my heart.
Your heart was a little hurt because I was busy today. I understand, makes sense. That's your heart.
It's okay.
You got your body.
It's spilt over. It's just feeling less out of cold, but like.
Let's see if let's do a clarifier on your heart. See if it's emergent direction. Okay. Let's see what its directionality is. Clarifier on the heart
Hey,
directionality.
Winston's mom.
Hi, Winston's mom. Clarifier on the heart.
Oh, patience.
Strength, patience.
It makes a lot of sense.
It does.
It looks like Louise Dizon would like a card as well.
Okay. Now your body, Rachel. Card for your body. Card for your very, very sexual body.
Thank you. Ooh, 10 of Pence.
10 of Pence.
Feeling at home.
Your body's feeling at home. Good. And now for your mizind, they call it.
Page of Cups.
Childish emotions.
I was watching the show Love all day, so.
There you go. And lastly, your spirit.
Aww.
The doorway.
Introverted.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. That's a great pull. Thank you so much, babes.
You're welcome, darling.
Can I have one for you?
Sure.
And then Louise.
Louise Dijon.
Louise Dijon. And then I'll go in.
All right.
My poop is waiting.
A pull for me. We've got my heart.
King of Wands being creative. King of the
Getting shit
creativity.
done, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we got my bod. My bizard. My body, my body.
You're spodtopulous. Ooh.
The chariot. It's taking me places.
Yeah. It
now,
is.
my mind.
Moving forward with the chariot, too. Hey.
Feeling right at home. And
It's nice to have one together. Same card.
true. And the spirit. So the most mystical of the moistures. Let's see what it is. There it is. I'm not sure which of these two. One of these two. I think it's probably
Victory and the Knight of Wands. Oh, two. Partnership. Your soul. This is your soul. Your soul wants partnership and creativity.
yeah. I think I get that
I do too.
from you. I think right now it's saying you've been working in isolation too much.
Ah.
Okay, now we're gonna do Luis Dijon. Who's the guy who has the mustard that I like to eat? Luis Dijon. Luis Dijon. Okay, here's your heart, the tenderest part of your body. Oh, you have the heart of judgment.
You probably have very good judgment on partners.
Luis Dijon. Now let's look at your ball. Look at your ball. Look at your ball. Okay, Luis Dijon, we're gonna need you to undress and put on this robe, this little gown. We're gonna look at your bod now. Oh, his bod's this. He gets this too.
Wow.
This is your bod.
I feel it.
Feel right at home in your body. Luis Dijon, right at home. Is he even here? Let's see. Luis Dijon, how's his mind going? This one. 9 sticks.
9 sticks. He's got a lot on his mind.
You got a lot on your mind, Luis
Maybe a lot of
Dijon.
projects.
Oh, you're Luis
Create
Dijon,
projects.
not Luis Dijon.
Might be a little.
You got a lot of stuff on your mind.
A lot of creative projects maybe on your mind.
A lot of sticks on your mind.
Yeah. A lot of sticks. That is a strange looking clown.
Now, let's pull Luis Dijon's soul.
The chariot. Number 7. Spiritual number.
Your soul just wants to ride with the wind.
In confidence.
You just want to be pulled by horses, wind blowing in their manes, blowing in your hair, your manes and their hair getting tangled together. You become one with the horses.
I'm Batman.
Who else wants cards? Anybody else? Let's do Winston's mom.
Yeah, Winston's mom.
Winston's mom, we're doing heart, body, mind, and soul. Today on Talking with Famous People, Tarot Edition. Winston's mom, what's your heart? Let's look inside of your chest. What's his mom? Look at your heart. Bring it out. See if it's the best. Let's find out. This is your heart. Apprentice.
Ooh, you're learning.
Showing what you've mastered to people. Look
Hey,
what I've learned.
See, I'm a thinker, but I feel.
That's your heart. Now let's find out what's your bod. What's your bod? Your body schmod. Let's see inside your body schmod. Let's find out if it's made of frogs. Let's find out, is your body frogs? Do you have a body that's all made of frogs? Let's find out. Let's find out. We'll find out if you get the frog card. King of Swords.
Ah.
You think of your body as just a vessel for your mind, apparently. You just think this is where the King of Swords lives, is this hunk of meat that I have to carry around. Is that how you think about your body?
Your body is your mind.
I'll hit you next, Jason Blood. Let me finish up with Winston's mom. Okay, now Winston's mom. Let's find out about your mind. Winston's mom's mind is fine. Let's find out what kind of fine. Is it rhyming with rhyme and rhyme? I don't know. Let's find out. 4 of Pentacles. You've got to remember, Winston's mom, when you're splitting your attention 4 different ways, one of them is going to get short shrift. This one right here that you're standing on, you're not even standing on the middle of it. So just let it go. Just say, you know what? Right now, I'm having some time for Winston's mom. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and prescribe. I am qualified to prescribe. I'm going to prescribe for you some Calgon. You can get that at any local pharmacy, I'm sure. Calgon.
Calgon.
It's a brand of bath bubbles.
Ooh.
Famous for the commercial, Calgon, take me away.
Well, then I agree with that. You should get some Calgon.
Yes,
Mom.
when a woman is stressed out, what she needs to do, the kids are out there, they're screaming, but she gets in that bathroom and she just says, Calgon. She opens up the Calgon bottle, bath all full up. Calgon, take me away. And she gets in that bath, it's just a whole new world. Just all Calgon all the time from that point forward.
That sounds like a nice deal.
Now your spirit, your soul, the ghost within, the inner ghoul,
Excuse me.
the poltergeist that haunts the sack of meat you call your body. Here we go. Soul, spirit. It's his mom's spirit. Let's find out if we're near it. What is spirit? Come on and tell us, Mr. Kardec. Your spirit is the emperor. That's quite imperious of you, Winston's mom.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the spirit of an emperor.
You run a tight ship.
You run a tight ship, and you aren't afraid to hit people with that stick.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jason Blood, I promised you a full 2.
All right, and then I'm going to sleepy bye.
Don't squeeze in your poo.
You're right.
Don't make it so
I've
it goes
already
back inside.
taken it too far. I think because I don't feel it right now.
You just gotta let your insides loosen up. So, cause I hate it when I do that. When I squeeze it back in and then I don't have to poo again.
Yeah.
That's terrible. You gotta take advantage of your opportunities.
Right. I know.
I've been thinking about this actually for myself a lot lately.
Really?
Because the other day I did that and I was like, God damn it,
yeah.
Eric.
Thank you for your wise words.
You're welcome.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. I'll see you there not very long.
Yeah. Take it.
Gotcha. I understand. I'm just telling you.
I don't want you, but I hope to see you soon. I love you.
Jason Blood, I love you too. Jason Blood, your heart is a tower card? Wow. That's all I'll feel for Jason Blood. His heart right now is a tower card, okay? I'm going to pull a qualifier for that, or a clarifier, you might say. The clarifier is you feel like you need to prove yourself. Okay, now let's do your bod. Your smoking hot bod, Jason Blood. Are you ready? Page of Pentacles. You feel like it's a source of youthful fun. I got plenty of hours. I'm young. I recover fast. No problem. What does the Tower card mean? It means you're distraught in your heart about something. I think we know what. It's that work thing. You feel like you need to prove yourself. Somebody was trying to steal credit for your work. Okay. Now, your body, like I said, you think it's a page of pentacles. It's like, I'm still young. I'm immortal. I can go stay up all night, whatever. All right. Now we're going to your mind. Source of thinkings, synapses, neurons, and other important stuff. Your mind. This one, Ace of Swords. You see your mind as a source of new ideas. Now, lastly, your spirit. Your soul. Your spirit. The most spiritual part of you. The most magical part. Are you ready? You ready to touch the magic? Touch the moist magic. 2 pence. Spiritually, you're somebody who takes care of business, balances shit, handles your shit, you know? You tell your mom, no, that would be incest. I will not marry you. Curious Kyra. Curious Kyra, would you like some cards? Like some cards? Like some cards? Curious Kyra, would you like some cards? Would you like some cards tonight? Here we go, Curious Kyra. First, we've got your heart. That's right. First, we got your heart. Let's pull a card for that. Let's pull a card for your heart and see what it's at. Let's pull the card over there. Yeah, this is the card for your heart. Your heart says 4 of Cups, which I think is regret. If I remember correctly. Regret. Your heart is filled with regret. Congratulations, you've won regret. Is that what you were hoping for? Now, let's find out what is in your body. Let's look at Kyra's body and find out what it is. Perhaps it's made of pentacles or instead wands or is. Another thing it could be is the devil or death. We'll find out now what her body is when I pull this card, I bet. Her body is the Page of Wands. It's the source of creative activity. Just basically the meat sack you use to create things in a playful way. Now, we're going to pull this one. Is your Mizzind. Your Mizzind is the Knight of Pentacles. It's fairly successful. Think about it's like between Page and Queen. Now, lastly, your Spirit. Ooh, the Star. Look at that. Somebody's spirit is the star. Congratulations. That means you're special. Okay, is there anybody else you want to pull before I go wrap this up? The Star. That means it's like you're the star, I think. It's like, you, beep, you, wee. I'm going to bed real soon. Anybody else want to pull? Alexander Cruz, you want to pull? All right, here we go. Your heart. Your heart is the Empress. Okay? Who's Batman? Alexander Cruz. Your heart is the Empress. Alexander Cruz. Your body. Your body. Your bod. Your meaty beats. Your meaty beats are. See what Alexander Cruz's meaty beats are. Meaty beats. 6 of sticks. I guess that means you think it's a victory. You're like, my meaty beats is all win. Okay, good to know. Your mind. El Sun, El Sol, and your spirit. It's quite a pull you got here, Lady Penance. Not that. It was not what I intended to pull out. This one. Knight of Pentacles. So, good job. Congratulations. Okay. Now, for you, Horse Mumbler. Horse Mumblers. Hardiest tart. The hardiest tart that he ever did part. We're looking for a Horse Mumbler's heart. The innermost part of his chest. At your heart, Horse mumbler. Lies. Justice. Justice for you. Now, horse mumbler, what's in your body? Let's find out if it's good or shoddy. Let's find out if it's a hottie. Let's talk about horse mumbler's body. So let's see. Horse mumbler's body. Your bod. It's botted up, mumble pants. Ooh, your body's a star. Nice. Your body's the star of the show. That's what you didn't expect coming into this. You really didn't expect it. You thought, not my body. My body's not the star. It's my mind. I'm an INTP. No, it's your body. It's that thing that houses your mind. Okay, now, your mind. The thing inside your skull. Your mind. It's not boring or dull, it's your mind. Let's find out what you get. I'll pull the right card yet, I bet. Ace of Cups. Your mind is a source of new emotional finds. Looks like you got a little bit of moisture on the brain, horse mumbler. All right, let's find out what horse mumbler's spirit is. Come here, spirit card. Come here, spirit. Come here, spirit card. Come here, spirit. Come here, spirit card. From here, spirit. Come here, spirit card. Come here, spirit. This is how you get the right card to come to you. You gotta call it. You gotta talk to it. This one. No, not that one. My mistake. I got two, so I know it wasn't the right one. This one. You got the spirit of 9 pentacles. You know what that means? Your spirit's content. It enjoys just sitting back and looking at what you've already done, resting on your laurels, stroking your Oscar. Oscar stroking is a good expression for just sort of like resting on your laurels, you know. What are you doing? Just stroking my Oscar. Oh, again? Yeah. It's so smooth and coppery. Yeah. What'd you get that for again? Best supporting actor in a foreign documentary with leftist leaning politics. Oh, yeah. I remember now. What was that movie called? Diversity above all. Make first graders learn with full adults in the same classroom. That's real diversity. Cloud. Cloud. You're killing me, Cloud. You're absolutely killing me. You know that? You really are. I'm going to listen to this song one more time. Smoke a cigarette and then I'm going to go to bed. So, yeah, this is this new song I worked on all day today.
Well, there's a herd of cattle and a flock of birds. School of fishes, it's a spew of words. Campaign of battles, a collection of churns. Cause farmers milk chattel for cups for the birds. And a lip flap of tattlers telling on burn. For disrupting the arrangement of a blossom of ferns. Confers a shameful burden that burn deserves. Or so say the tattlers telling on burn. Bats are colonial, bees are swarmy. A quiver's worth of cobras is making me horny. Got a cat named Capillo and a dog named Bird. Cassiopeia is the name of my bird. There's no powder for my cat. Bird has no pack. Got no grip of badgers, cause badgers attack. And the same goes for weasels, which come in a sack. But my Cassie's in a murder and they're all in black. Nobody's coming alone today. Nobody's alone. All of the creatures gather up their crews. Gather their crews. You lions, your pride, exaltation, a dove, a downfall, a slides, and one pair of gloves. There's a pot of whales, Bristol Grace, Spark the nails, swap away, sniff the cheese, frown of fails, catamates, ton of jails. Nobody's coming alone today. Nobody's alone. All of the creatures gather up their crews. Gather their crews. Nobody's coming alone today. Nobody's alone. All of the creatures gather up their crews. Gather their crews. Full crash of rhinos and a knot of toads. Porcupines form a prickle crowd in the roads. Drive a drove of pigs and Yucatine. See the snack of jellyfish caught on the pot. Owls hold parliament, just like the Brits, but no labor's worth of moles votes labor on this. And lemurs and conspiracies with monkeys and troops can't turn a family of otters into a group. Nobody's coming alone today. Nobody's alone. All of the creatures gather up their crews. Gather their crews. Everybody's gonna have a friend. Nobody's coming alone today. Nobody's alone. All of the creatures gather up their crews. Gather their crews. Nobody's coming alone today. Nobody's alone. All of the creatures gather up their crews. Gather their crews. I think I like it. I think I do. No word conspiracy in this song. Anyway, thanks for being here. I'll talk to you all later.